It's Thursday, it's 8 o'clock, and it's the Braintree Metal. It's the big detecting show. Good evening, Adrian. How are you today?
Hello, Dave. I'm fine, thank you. Oh, what a week. You had a good week?
Yes, I've had a, normal week.
Did you go detecting last week?
No, I was Cheshire attic boy as opposed to Norfolk, but we had a leak in the attic not long ago.
What, you were up, Wayne. Whose loft were you up? Gareth Howard's loft. Oh, problems with the wife. I get you. Yeah.
We had a leak and it left a bit of mould, so we had to sort the mould out, let's say.
Isn't there a place near you called Mould?
That's in North Wales. That's somewhere between me and the Soil Sisters. Sisters.
Copyright ban. Yeah.
I spent the weekend up there basically, and then we had I learned, Adrian, that I need to lose weight. We had a loft ladder fitted, and now I can't get in a loft.
Why can't you get in the loft with the ladder?
We've got a small
hole,
and the ladders obviously now fill a proportion of the hole.
You can't get up the loft, or is that just an excuse?
No, I literally couldn't get my bum through.
Well, it's better than getting stuck. Can you imagine it? If you had to get the fire brigade out.
I know, especially if some of that's come from the top and seeing everything that's strewn all over the floor there from Gareth's.
Bad manners stuck in loft. Oh, picture it now, front line of your news. Yeah. So, yes, it's been a interesting week, isn't it? What with the treasure act and things.
Treasure act, because everybody. Oh, sorry, there's one place in particular taking all the credit for that, not letting anybody else having any say. It was all to do with them, but hey, that's another matter, and I'm getting political, so I'll stop. I'm going to put you on big screen. I'm going to put you on big screen because you've got an awesome find.
Oh, I have. Yes. So I
show it like you showed me before. I was sticking out the ground.
Yeah. So I went out on Saturday and saw Gareth, who's in the chat. Hi, Gareth. Sorry if I didn't catch up with you, but oh dear, what a fun day that was. Went for a dig on Sunday and had the Manticore, and and it was nice because there was like 100 odd people there. So I thought, will it get interfered with by anything? But it didn't. And then probably about 20 minutes in the dig, I got a banging signal, probably about 6 inches down. I thought, what's that? So I started digging away, and then I saw that. I thought, oh, that's weird. Looks like it's quite detailed. I don't know if you can see it. And I started pulling it out of the ground. I thought, that's a bloody chicken's leg. And it's a chicken's leg, and I think it had a stone in there. But I think so it's quite nice. Yeah, and I think it probably.
What material, Adrian?
It's lead, but it's very detailed. You probably can't see it too clearly on there. But lovely little find. And I was so excited because I didn't tell you this, Dave. I haven't spoken to you. Of all the people who could help me identify it, sitting there, Gordon Bailey. Those who don't know, he's written dozens of books on metal detecting finds, been detecting over 50 years. And I sat down with Gordon Bailey. I said, Gordon, what do you think that is? And he looked at it and went, oh, 16th century, possibly 17th century, linked to witchcraft. Most chicken's legs are sort of linked to voodoo and places like that now, but back then. And I found that and a hammered.
How mad that we've been talking about Essex witches and you found Essex witchery.
It's weird. When you sometimes you pick up some objects and you think, oh, I wonder what the history is behind that. And I was just like, did that belong to a witch, or did it belong to someone to protect them from a witch? But yeah, one of my favourite finds that was really.
Tony Kaywood says witchcraft used to summon demons. Tony Kaywood actually found, and this is true story, all of the witches' buttons.
Ah, cloaks, witches' buttons, yes. It's I've got to do some research on it, and when I do, I'm going to write a little article on it because There were some other bits found around there which date to, there was Roman that come up and everything. But yeah, it's not often you find, it's not all about the gold and the silver. It's things like that which got a nice bit of history. And witchcraft is very strange. John Clayton, it will. No, don't
bad
say that,
juju,
John.
man, bad juju.
Because my mate James said it will bring me bad luck. Oh my god, I better lock the back door just in case of bad.
Did you see Jason Stevens, Dark Knight Detectorist post the other day? I did tag you in it.
Did you?
Yeah,
I've got loads of alerts.
It's a badger and ripped the front off his car.
Oh no! Oh dear! Oh dear! Yeah, they're vicious, and those who've been watching Clarkson's Farm will no doubt that they're disease carriers and can ruin farms. So
and Sherwin says, "What are witch's buttons? The buttons off a witch's cloak." We were just being silly because Tony K Wood finds many buttons.
Yeah, I've had a few.
Adrian, we've got a video been sent in tonight from the lovely Sherwins out on a dig this week. So they've sent a video in. Thank you very much. We'll show that later. And don't forget, if you want to send a video in from any of the digs you're on, please feel free to. Or even if you're a YouTuber and you want to throw us a short over, we'll play that as well. Second semi-final tonight of Book Wars. So next week will be the grand final.
Are we having
A poo?
Gareth, who's in Gareth's loft tonight?
I think we should have who's in Gareth loft, but I think we should.
Oh, it could be.
You better message me because
you say it, yeah. Well, I don't know.
No, don't say it. We've got to do it later.
No, I don't know.
People have got to guess who's in Gareth's loft. Loft.
Yeah.
Who's lost in Gareth's loft?
Yeah.
And we really shouldn't play who's in Gareth's loft without Gareth being here either. To be fair,
he's Gareth here. Gareth's in the chat.
Gareth, are you here?
Yeah, he's in the chat.
Gareth, are you here?
Well, he's probably gone up into the loft for 10 minutes, 20 minutes, or probably less. But Gary's in the chat. Hi, Gary. Yeah, see you Sunday. It's got the Rodney Cook One Day event Sunday.
Cookie.
Start of it all. It's all kicking.
Do you know, I've only just actually got a message that you sent me last week of a picture of Cookie.
It was for who's in Gareth's loft. So I don't know if you've got it to show. But
no.
Because it was because Gary was in Gareth's loft. But we're waffling on. We spoke briefly about the Treasure Act, and that's going to be interesting when it comes in next year, apparently. So it
may or it may not.
Well, we're still yet to know what they determine as of significance. So the NCMD said there probably will be just 100 extra things that are taken into account a year, but I don't know. We'll see. The chair's in the way, and there's a man going up a loft. That's Gary. Yeah, he's got bad teeth there. And then you can see the man in the loft. There's Gary. Gary getting ready to go up the loft in transition lenses.
I can get up off the floor now. Oh, that does no good.
You need to lose weight. You won't get up that loft, Dave.
Won't get up Gareth's loft.
No, you won't. Ooh, I don't think he's got that big a hole. Right. Where were we? Yeah, we're talking about the Treasure Act. So I'm interested what people have got to say in the chat about that, because some of us sort of could foresee it coming, but maybe it not change things that much. We'll have to wait and see. But it's what is of significance. That's the thing. So, and it was on the news, wasn't it? BBC and Sky. Mr. Jules from Treasure Hunting magazine. He was on Sky News. Gave a little chat.
Do you know what, Adrian? What a segue you've just done then. What a segue. Because not only was Julian on the news this week, but tonight's guest was on the news this week.
Yes.
Good evening, Mr. Tomlinson. How are we?
Good evening, Dave.
Nice, Steve.
How you doing, all right?
Yeah,
marvellous
fine,
to see you.
Yeah, nice to see you, mate. Nice. Keeping well? Looking good.
You're from my part of the country because I can
I
understand.
told you you'd understand each other.
Every single word you're saying, Steve.
Oh, fantastic! Yeah,
Whereabouts are you from?
It's slang, isn't it? Yeah. Originally from Margate, but
oh right.
Yeah, Ramsgate now. So yeah, moved across miles away, so just around the corner. But yeah, but was there for years and went to Birchington for a little while. But Ramsgate.
Well,
now,
Steve,
so,
you joined us on the Big Detecting Show way long ago, right at the very start. So for those who don't know you, can you give us a brief introduction?
Yeah, sure. Yeah, it was about 2000 and blimey, was it about 18, wasn't it? I think it was
something
2018
like that,
when I found the Anglo-Saxon shoe, wasn't it? Yes. Yeah, I work as a professional archaeologist, which is nice. So I basically dig all day and hope to find as much as we possibly can. And then go out mudlarking, which I've done for a few years now. And been very lucky where I've been, actually, to be honest. It's been really, really good. And but absolutely love it. Love being out and about, seeing what's around on the foreshore and other places and things. And it's magic, isn't it? Like
it is.
You gentlemen know how good it is, and what you just go out and enjoy it, don't you? And whatever you find is whatever you find, really, isn't it? It's the love of it, isn't it?
Yeah.
And, so I take my iPod. Yeah, during the day, and then go out whenever I can, sort of doing the hobby. So it's brilliant. Yeah, it works all around, really.
Now, you originally, as you mentioned a minute ago, originally came newsworthy when you found something quite exciting in the river about 5 years ago now.
It was, 2018. It was, yes, yeah.
So tell us a little bit about that, if you will.
That was a mudlarking find. Yeah, sure. That was a mudlarking find from the foreshore, and just saw this leather object, I suppose you could say at the time, sticking out of the mud. Sort of pulled it out. Looked a bit interesting, but couldn't really tell. It was absolutely covered. So wiped away a bit of the mud, and it looked shoe-like. So I thought, oh, it's quite interesting, like a one-piece leather construction shoe. And, when you look at things like that to start with, you think, oh, is it old? Is it not old? You just, had an inkling it could be good, but very hard to date some of these things sometimes, aren't they? So brought it home, put it on my shelf when we have a lot of finds, and thought, I don't know, I think I need to get this carbon dated. So sent it off for carbon dating in Scotland, and came back 4 weeks later with a date of 942 to 969 AD within the Anglo-Saxon period, which it's extraordinary because even that's so rare in the late period. I think it's apparently then was the last leather find within that date, so it's extraordinary, really. But the amazing thing is I had it in the fridge for quite some time in water, and a lot of people are interested in it, so I kept on taking it out, putting it back in the fridge again, taking it back out. And then I thought, okay, I'll just leave it out for a little while and see what it does. And it never deteriorated, and it hasn't deteriorated.
Wow.
So in 5 years, it's still exactly the same as what it was.
Wow.
Which is extraordinary, because it showed the heel marks and the toe marks and the stitching marks. It had literally everything. And I thought, typical leather, old leather, you would have thought, okay, that's going to deteriorate, it's going to shrink. It's not going to be any good. But it just didn't. And it just stayed exactly how it is. I've got a conservator friend who's looking at it at the moment and doing some sort of studies on it. So, but yeah, it's incredible, amazing. So that was absolutely brilliant. As you well know, Dave, when I came on your show, when you invited me on your show, I was actually, over the moon with it. Yeah, amazing. Yeah.
And then following that, am I right in saying there was some form of Roman vessel as well?
Yes, I've been quite lucky. I found about 8 complete Roman pots now.
8?
Mudlarker.
Wow.
Yeah, 8. Yeah. All near complete. Not all fully complete. I must rephrase that. But many complete, and the others with slight perhaps chips off and things like that.
Yeah.
But, it's about 8. Yeah. So some protruding out of the mud of nearly 2,000 years ago. Whole vessels is quite breathtaking, really, to think you're the first person in 2,000 years to touch that again is amazing. Yeah, good feeling.
That's absolutely mental, isn't it?
Steve, going back to the shoe, so the shoe's nearly 3,000 years old. Is that the oldest shoe that has been found in Britain? Or
going forward to the
potentially
shoe, Adrian, we haven't got to that shoe yet.
Oh no! Sorry, we're talking about the wrong shoe, and I.
No, it's all right.
The wrong.
No, that's all right.
Have you got the
I don't
other
mind
shoe there? Mr. Clark.
Well, funny enough, it just went into the conservator about a week ago. Literally about a week ago. The Anglo-Saxon. Yeah, we'll get that back in due course. I'll come back on Dave's show again. I'm sure him. Like, if he wants me back on that, he might not. But yeah,
you're welcome anytime.
Dave,
but it's not my show; it's everybody's show.
Yeah, it's everybody's show.
We just drive it.
Yeah,
I was interested about the carbon dating.
Yeah, everybody's show.
Everyone. The carbon dating of the original shoe, was that something that you did personally, or you did it through work as such?
I did it personally. Yeah, I did it on a personal basis. Yeah. I'm one of those people who, if I'm not sure about something, but it looks really potentially very good, I will sort of get it carbonated. And I think this just looked old, and it kind of like looked medieval sort of type. So I thought, I've just got to get it done. It would have just bugged me otherwise. So I thought, I've just got to get it done. It cost about £500 then to get that done.
Oh, right.
And I sent it off, and so I paid for it. Yeah, it was a bit of a gamble. Admittedly, it is a bit of a risk, high risk. £100. It's gonna be a win or lose. It's gonna be a gamble, but I'm gonna take it. And I did.
How long does it take?
I got just rewards in the end. Yeah.
How long does
it takes? You can do it 2 ways. You can do it on a fast service, which 5 weeks. Or you can do it. They do it about 8 to 10 weeks, which is slightly a bit cheaper. I think that works out about £380 if you took a little bit longer to carbon date it. So yeah, it's basically the time, but it just takes longer to get the results back on the cheaper version. But I went for
sort of information?
I'm eager. I'd love to know.
I think we've got a delay here. Sorry.
It's really good. No, that's
sorry, what sort of information do you get back on? Yeah.
They give you it's like the dates. It's a shame I ain't got I've got a carbon date. I'd have to go away from the laptop if you want to have a look. But yeah, literally, it's to do with the tree rings, and they make it out from the tree rings into the carbon dating itself. It's quite a complicated process, but it's it's like trying to figure a way of explaining it. She's how can I explain it easier? I'll come on and do it because it's quite complicated, that one.
No,
but
fine,
I'll come on and explain.
I was just wondering if you got like the pictures and like a document with any information. Just wondered what you got back with.
It does the calibration date. Yeah, it does the calibration date, and then it gives you a period of date. Between dates, it could be between sort of 100 or 300 years, something like that. But they sort of narrow it down as best as they can. I know the new one we found, the new shoe, was vigorously dated. They really spent a lot of time on that one, and they got that really, really close. It was really good. Yeah. But yeah, I'll have to have a look at the comment out now to explain that, because it is quite a it's quite a difficult one.
No, it's fine.
I apologise for that.
You obviously had a love for history and a love for archaeology and such like, and that led you to actually. Remember, you messaging me quite excited that you got a new job, and you started off in the archaeological industry yourself.
Yes, I did. Yes, indeed. Yeah. I was quite lucky actually, because my first job was on a big Roman site in Sittingbourne, and it was absolutely fantastic. It was a Roman villa temple site, and when I was training to be an archaeologist, there was, I couldn't have been on a better site, I don't think, to be honest, because there was literally finds everywhere. There was whole Roman pots, lots of brooches. We had about 200 brooches, about 300 coins.
Wow.
There was pottery everywhere, and it was a religious temple, so they were throwing offerings in, like the coins and that, and it was amazing. It was absolutely cool, and I was probably so lucky to be able to go on a site like that to learn and start learning about archaeology. I wanted to be an archaeologist for years, but I spent my time being an ecologist. Absolute years doing that, but I always wanted to be an archaeologist, and I wasn't getting it. And I thought, if I don't do it, I'm never going to do it. So, that's several years ago now. I went into it and never looked back. But I love history, and I love every bit about archaeology. And you learn, and I'm still learning. Even working as a professional archaeologist, I'm constantly learning. And you sort of rub off people you work with, and you will have a chat if you're not sure about something. What do you think of this? There's no attitude of I know it all. That just does not exist. That does not exist, because there's so much to it. And any archaeologist would probably tell you the same, who's done it for years on end. They're still learning. I'm not scared to go up to somebody and say, I'm not sure about that. I don't know. What do you think on this one? Because a lot of the features, they change. A lot of the context of the features, the soil types, there's so much to it. And if you're not sure, instead of saying, I pretend I know, and I'll just go on and record it, get your mate over and say, what's your opinion? What do you think on this? And in the end, you come to a conclusion. So it's fantastic. It's really good. I absolutely love it.
What are your favourite kind of historical finds, Steve, apart from shoes?
Is that on a mudlarking term, Adrian, or as a job?
Overall as a job.
Overall, I like everything, to be honest. I'm quite happy finding a 19th century shoe. I'm quite happy finding old spoons. I love it all. Absolutely love it all. And I don't care. I just love doing it. And I think, to me, it's the passion of doing it. If I go out one day and find nothing, who cares? To me,
bit like metal detecting, isn't it, Dave?
Join it. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, indeed. Your good days, bad days, average days, but it's just finding history. I think that's what gives it the buzz, and what is potentially you can find. And I think that overweight, big cool finds, I suppose you could say sometimes, is just enjoying it. Yeah, I love it. Love it.
Well, what Adrian doesn't know, we're lucky enough to have a number of finds to have a look at a little bit later on from one of the sites you were involved in one of the excavations on recently.
Yes, yeah. The one in. Are we allowed to say just yet, Dave? Or we?
You can say what you want.
Yeah. It's a. It was a. Well, they put it down as an Anglo-Saxon burial site in Deal, in 2021, but it actually dates back to late Neolithic, early Bronze Age, about 4,000 years ago, and it was a big burial site of total about 95 burials altogether. We had Bronze Age. Majority were Anglo-Saxon burials, dating from the 5th to the 6th century AD. But the earliest ones were the Bronze Age burials. There was about 8 of those, with beaker burials as well, which was absolutely amazing. Majority was Anglo-Saxon, which we'll show some finds later. But it was a very high status cemetery. It was absolutely amazing, and some of the finds we had was just incredible. Digging for Britain came down and filmed down there because it was just so special. And some of the pictures what we'll show tonight will bit mind blowing. Some of them, but absolutely amazing. Yeah, it was absolutely a cracking site, brilliant site. So,
wow,
yeah.
you got those pictures, Dave?
Yes, I'm in the process behind the scenes of putting them into a PowerPoint presentation, because otherwise I won't be able to see what's going on myself.
Oh, right. No,
You ain't got me eating my sandwiches down there, Dave, have you? I didn't send that one over to you, did I?
There's a couple of holiday ones, a couple of holiday photos.
There's no
They might have ended up
one.
the old soil sample bucket. I'm old cheese and onion sandwiches. You never know, but.
So, Steve, is it something you do 7 days a week? Like even at weekends, you'll walk along a beach looking for fossils and stuff like that. Is it like grained in you?
Yeah, when I got the time to do it the weekends, yeah, I do it as much as I can, definitely, and yeah, it's not always 7 days a week, but whenever I can get out, I will get out. Got a good friend I go out with, Emily Brown. She goes out with me a lot of the time, and yeah, we just brilliant together, and it's just really
good
really,
evening to Emily, because she's bound to be watching, I'd say.
Yeah, I hope so. Otherwise, I'll be having words with her. Otherwise, yeah. I'll have to chuck her off my site. Yeah. No, she's great. She loves it. She's another one who she loves everything about it. You know, no matter what she finds, she's great. You know, and she just loves it, and that's what it's all about, isn't it? I think. Yeah.
And you mudlark along the Thames foreshore, Steve? Or
we go wherever we can, to be honest. Yeah, we've we go up North Kent, literally anywhere, local Thanet, done Thanet beaches, sort of Naden Rock in Margate, which is really good actually. That's got a lot of history in Margate, and it's surprising what turns up down there as well. It's we get a few of the clay pipes turn up, but not a great deal, not compared to London. But we get the old steamer ships used to come down, the paddy steamers, and we get a lot of the plates and bits of the plate that get washed up, as well as the Whitley bomber that crashed in there, Second World War, and that comes in sometimes. So a bit of a variation, really, but it's really good. Yeah, so we sort of go anywhere we can, really, and feel walking with permission if needed. But anywhere, yeah, we love it all. Yeah.
What on the beaches? You said clay pipes. What other kind of things? What a normal day would you pick up on the beaches?
Normal day, it varies so much. Actually, you could pick up like pork pie inkwells, complete bottles sometimes. Flints. I've had really good flints, methallitic flints. Yeah, which I found, which was really good. Literally anything. So clay pipes is one that sort of turns up, but bits of planers, as I say, they've turned up, and you know, just crazy, really, things like that. But yeah, literally anything. Yeah.
Have you got a mudlarking license then, or?
Yeah, I've used. Funny enough, I don't use it. I don't sort of like go into London much.
Well, no, I can
keep this side, so it's like, yeah, it's like basically sort of like non-existent, really.
I think London's good if you live a tube, or you can get on the Central Line or something like that to get somewhere. But actually driving there or getting the train there, especially at the moment, we've got loads of train works at the weekend, so you have to end up getting on the bus. But yeah, it's not. I think if you live in London, like a few of the mudlarkers do, the common ones,
ideal, isn't it?
Yeah, it's perfect. But I suppose on the beach it's a bit easier because, like metal detecting, you stuck out like a sore thumb on a beach and get away with it, but like on the Thames foreshore, you're constantly getting, you found much? Oh, what have you been doing
that's
that? It's
right.
like, go away, leave me alone, enjoy my hobby.
Yeah.
So it's true though, isn't it? You sort of
It is, yeah. It is.
another-
Yeah, London's but if you live in London, it's certainly great. I mean, the finds they get is amazing, isn't it? I mean, they really do get some cracking stuff. It's great, yeah. But yeah.
And is it just you and is it Emily you go with, or others when you go?
Yes, yeah, Emily. Yes, yeah.
Right, I think she's in the chat.
Emily comes
Emily...
out with us. Emily Brown. Yes. Yeah. So if I get stuck in the mud, she's got to pull me out, you see. So that's why, that's why she's got to come with us, you see.
Adrian has to do that to me.
So I was just thinking, actually, that would be really good fun, that would, because Dave could pull me out with one finger. But I don't think.
What are you trying to say, Adrian? Adrian, what are you trying to say?
We should go, Dave. Actually, we should.
Yeah,
go,
you should. You should. It's really good. You'll love it. You will absolutely love it. You will.
I am a nightmare on the beach. Went to the Isle of Wight. Was it last year or the year before? Year before, with my wife and daughter, and I was a nightmare around the cliffs. I was literally walk like I got something wrong with me, like I've got really bad hemorrhoids or something, because I'm just looking at all the surface. I can't walk, and then when I sit down, I don't just sit and like enjoy the view. I'm just going through the stones and shingle. I went metal detecting on the beach out there, and I found a platinum wedding ring, which was quite nice.
Oh wow!
Yeah. So, but yeah, beaches and rock faces and ditches. Molehills. We were talking about molehills the other week.
We were.
Yeah.
They're good for picking up rings, aren't they? Molehills. There's.
I've heard a lot of people have. Yeah, I mean, I always detect over them with a metal detector, but never really come up with something. And the same as badgers sets when they dig out and chuck it all on the side. Sorry, someone's just put something in the chat. For something funny and rude. One of our common regular viewers. He's quite often. He went metal detecting on Nudist Beach once, found loads of rings, but you should have seen the looks I got when I tried to look for hallmarks.
Oh, right. Probably went tits up, did it?
Yeah. It's like one of those 1970s postcards, wasn't it? All them ones. The cartoon ones. Yeah. I can remember my mum and dad had friends that always sent them from Bournemouth, and I used to look at it when I was about 8 or 9, going. I mean, I don't know if you're allowed to put them through the. You're probably not allowed to put them through the post anymore.
No, you're probably not. No.
I'll try and send Dave one. Anyway, me waffling on about things. Are we going to talk about your most recent find, Dave? Steve's most recent find?
Yes, certainly. I've just actually finished doing a PowerPoint presentation, so I've got all your images ready now.
Right.
Yeah.
So we'll come on to that in a wee while.
Okay.
What? Obviously, you've been on the news recently. You've shared it on your own groups. I've shared it on our groups. You've had another absolutely fantastic find, which isn't just nationally important, but potentially internationally important.
Yes, indeed. Yeah. That was another brilliant day on the foreshore. Emily and I went up in September last year, and we had a really good day. We found quite a few bits of Roman pottery sherds. Emily found a piece of Roman tesserae, and it was just really good. We spent a really good sort of 3 hours thrashing every bit we could out, really, to be honest. It was just a really good vibe for the day, and we was on the last leg, literally, and I just looked down the side of the mud and just saw this piece of leather, and I thought, looked at it, picked it up, looked at it, I thought, oh, Christ, I don't know, looks like a shoe. Looks like a shoe, and you know, to be honest with you, the original pictures was it. You know, it didn't look much, to be honest, but it was shoe shaped, and I had to. I called Emily over and said, "Have a look at this." And I said, "You know, what do you think?" It's, you know, we ummed and ahed, and we said, "Yeah, definitely, you know, definitely a shoe sole of some sort. We thought can't be modern, can't be, unlikely to be Viking or Anglo-Saxon, just didn't have that look about it. But it did look early medieval. It was a kind of like, it looked like a one-piece construction shoe, which actually does go back to the prehistoric days, actually. But that was never in our heads at all, never. So I'm going to take it, and I've got to take it. I put it in the bag, put some water from the foreshore in with that bag, took it home, went through exactly the same scenario like I did with the Anglo-Saxon shoe. I looked at it and I thought, I don't know, this looks good. This just looks good. There's something about it. It had a pattern on the underneath, and on the underneath, the arch of the foot looks interesting. So once again, thought I got to send it off carbon dating. So I sent it off late September, and it came back 5 weeks later. And I remember the guy from Scotland saying to me, Steve, I think you better sit down for this. And I went, go on then, because I was thinking early medieval. I would have been happy with that, most definitely. And he said, it's 888781 BC.
Wow.
And I just remember having a cup of coffee in my hand. I nearly spilled it all over the carpet. And I went, I won't say what I won't say on air what I said. But it was like,
Cool, blimey.
Right, okay, right. So I said, I'll find out Emily, and it was on the phone for about 2 hours. And I said, I can't believe it. What do I say? What do you say? We was really excited. The emotions were high. Straight away, I thought, this is potentially the oldest shoe ever found in the British Isles. So lots of things going on in my head. The gentleman who contacted me during the evening and said to me, Steve, do you want to do another carbon dating test? He said, because this shoe, he says, is so rare. It's extremely rare. We want to get it right. You can take the first result. We're pretty 100% certain it is this date, but because of what it could potentially mean, would you do another one? And I went, yes, let's do it. So I said, go ahead. And it was just before Christmas. So I was like, you can imagine over Christmas, couldn't you? I was like, oh, God, is it? No. I was trying to concentrate on Santa Claus coming down my chimney. And I got to think about the carbon dating result, And I was like, gosh.
What you do?
Is it going to be? I was like, oh, I don't know. I was like in cuckoo land. I was so like, oh, my God. But eventually it came back again in mid-January. And he said, Steve, this shoe we've got, it's exactly the same date. We've vigorously tested it. There's no change. It is what it is.
Wow.
It's 888, so just under 3,000 years old. So the official date, the previous oldest shoe recorded that we know of within the British Isles was in 2005 in Somerset, and that was done by an archaeological team, and that was dated around about the 2000, perhaps 2,500 years old. So we know this is way older than that anyway. So all the high emotions were going everywhere and with everything. And it's like, oh my God, got to really, really think about this now. Got to make sure it is what it is. And that's a massive importance. I've got to make sure that this is a shoe, whatever. I've got some experts, a lot of experts involved. They said, oh, without a doubt, this is that. So that was a nice relief. I then managed to get hold of a friend of mine, got hold of a conservator. She was Dana. She was on the Digging for Britain program, who done our Anglo-Saxon films. And she's been she's looking after it at the moment, doing all the testing on it. We're checking for the animal that the leather came from. We're going to hopefully be doing the DNA testing on it as well.
See if it's still got somebody alive who's a relative.
Absolutely. Yeah, yeah. You never know. I might be related to it, Dave. You know, I might have to do my family tree on this shoe.
That would be bizarre. That would be really bizarre.
Which would be mad. But we've also found what looks like a seed. Now that could be extraordinary because when it got filmed on Meridian, this little seed popped out, which was lodged into it. So we've currently got a seed expert looking at that, and we don't. The thing is with seeds, it could be old, it could be modern. We just don't know. It could have been watching at a later date. That's one that we'll know hopefully in a short space of time.
Gareth Howard's actually an expert on things popping out. If you need then sending anything over.
Yeah, I don't think. Yeah,
but is this at the nightclubs? Is it, or is this something?
I think anywhere, public toilets, you name it.
You call him George Michael as well. Don't know why.
So, Steve, when was it actually fully on the surface, or was it part submerged? What when you found it?
Yeah, it was near to the mud. Very close, but it was actually in like sand covered with shells, broken shells. So it was literally just slightly under a layer of sort of debris, really, I suppose, or sea crustaceans and things like that. So it was a real, just sort of, and I don't know, for some reason I thought straight away it's a piece of leather, just a piece of leather. So I looked at it and and then
it's mad, isn't it?
It's crazy.
Was that on the Thames? Is that on the Thames? Was that on the Thames?
It's in North Kent.
North Kent, so not a million miles away, but that's spent nearly 3,000 years with all paddle steamers, you name it, boats, wars, everything.
Yeah,
pollution,
absolutely.
Plastics, diesel, you name it, all chucked in there.
It's had everything. Everything. Old Age Romans, medieval Vikings, Anglo-Saxons. It's had the lot. Yeah. It's had the lot.
The shoe that could tell you write a book on that. The story
absolutely.
Of the shoe. But it's a child's, isn't it? It's a child's shoe.
Yeah, it's a toddler's 2 to 3 years of age, roughly, about size 7, give or take.
Child size 7,
yeah. The very, very early Iron Age shoes, there's about 4 or 5 which is extremely similar to that as well, which are very close. But again, we've got someone who's kindly come in, who's going to work with us she's a leather expert who's going to reconstruct it for us.
Gareth
Howard's also a leather expert.
It'd be really interesting though, what type of animal, let's just hope it's not human flesh, but it's that'll mess up the history book. But it's it'd be a
cannibalism.
It could be bison, or it could be a bison, right? It could be anything, couldn't it?
It could be almost anything. Yeah, it could be. It could be. But it has the typical late Bronze Age textile pattern on the shoe, and that's the biggest. It's brilliant. It has that. It's got some kind of pattern on that, which is like a typical textile what they have. I mean, it's so rare. I mean, things like that just don't survive. Leather in that period. You're even on archaeological sites. You're lucky to even find a fingernail of it. You just don't. It just doesn't happen. It doesn't happen.
So am I right in saying the soil, the water, etc., is stopping the aerobic things happening to the leather, causing it to deteriorate over 2,000 years, and it's basically encased and stopping anything getting to it, which is causing the deterioration.
Yeah, spot on, Dave. Yeah. What happens if it's in mud or boggy areas, then provided it's air free, then it won't deteriorate. Basically, as soon as that air, that's why you don't get them in burials, like prehistoric burials, because it just gets in and it just deteriorates. They rot away basically, and it just goes. It has to be in mud or boggy areas to keep that air away and keep it in anaerobic conditions. Then the likes of something like that will probably there'll be bits. There's bits off that, and we know that, but part of it has survived. And it's also got like a cut mark as well in the leather, so we might be able to find out. I don't know what kind of tool was used with it as well.
Wow.
Wow.
It's incredible, and we're pretty sure as well, near enough there now, that it is the smallest ever found in the world of the Bronze Age period. So yeah.
Wow. Smallest.
The program itself on Meridian.
Yes.
Where was that filmed? Obviously, some form of scientific laboratory. Is that where the DNA testing was done, or something that was done for filming
it was
purposes?
filmed in Sitting Bull, but the shoe's elsewhere now. It's gone somewhere else now for the next process, but it was filmed in Sitting Bull at the time.
And that's where it was originally tested at.
It was originally, yes, it was put there, looked under the scope, and that's where it was.
I didn't know if it was just a case of, let's just find a laboratory to do some filming in.
Yeah,
that's normally the case.
That's good old Dana's lab. She's brilliant. So we had the shoe there, and now it's gone off to the next stage somewhere else. But Dana's had a good look and said there's at least 2 layers, which is typical of a shoe inside the shoe itself, of leather. Possibly a third, but we think maybe that the second layer has split and gone into a third. But she said it's a typical of a sole of a shoe. That's what we get these days, is at least 2 layers.
So what you look at now, your future of archaeology is Steve Tomlinson sponsored by Clark's.
Yeah, or could be Hush Puppies, or Adidas.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, I could have gone into Clark's and got it properly measured, really, couldn't I? I mean,
so what's eventually? I mean, it's still got to go through lots of testing and things, but
it has. Yes.
How do you envisage in the next couple of years? What will it be in the British Museum, or what?
I think the idea is we've got. I mean, it's been brilliant. The experts we've had, I've got to admit, it has been absolutely second to none. They have been absolutely fantastic. I'd like to thank every single one of them, for their help. Everybody's been involved, from a seed specialist to a conservator. We've even had 2 local universities, Christchurch University in Kent and the University of Kent, have got involved. There's been so many people, and it's been amazing, and I couldn't have done it without them, to be honest, as well. So I think going ahead, once all the testing's been done, the idea will probably is put it into permanent preservation. And the way they do that, Dana would probably do that. So she'll put special treatment on that shoe, so it literally doesn't deteriorate and it stays literally solid. So it won't go nowhere. And then hopefully, the idea was, would you reconstruct it, take the reconstruction of the shoes into county museums, so they could say, well, this is what we found on the foreshore. This is how we pretty much know how it may have looked, and this will be from a leather expert, with the original hopefully going into the British Museum with a copy of that shoe made up as well. So that would be hopefully the plan for the future.
Lovely.
So everybody can enjoy it. Yeah.
Congratulations. That's a remarkable story.
Thank you very much. Lovely. Thank you.
Congratulations again, because I keep doing this to you.
Hey, can we see some pictures?
We'll see some pictures in a minute, Adrian. But firstly, we've got 2 of our little segments to do. Firstly, we've got Who's in Gareth Howard's mum's loft, which you haven't messaged me who yet.
I'm doing it now.
And then we've got Book Wars, the final semi-final of Book Wars. For those of you who don't know, Book Wars, we've had a series. We had 4 books each. We read out a page. The winner of the book goes through to the next round. We've had, what have we had up to now? We've had 50 Finds of Cheshire, the technical inside the metal detector thing, British Artifacts Volume 2, Advanced Detecting, Cloth Seals, Roman Coinage, Metal Detecting and Archaeology, and Bennett's Artifacts. Last week's semi-final saw 50 Finds of Cheshire beat Roman Coinage, and tonight we have Metal Detecting and Archaeology versus Advanced Detecting. So what we do in a little while, Steve, we'll ask you to choose a page number. We'll see what our numbers are, and then we read the first paragraph from that page out, and then the viewers vote on which is the best book.
Okay.
But firstly, hold on, let me just read the text. This phone.
Dave, is it? I've got to pick out. Is it?
This is one of our viewers. I'll tell you, Steve. One of our viewers.
Let's say the first one, Adrian, not the second one.
Yeah, the first one.
Too early.
Page 3. Have I got to pick page 3 then on this one? Or?
Well, no. This is something else first. This is. Where is it? This is. Who's in Gareth's parents' loft?
I'll let Steve know what this is. So Gareth's in the chat. He doesn't come on the show, but he watches the show every week. And a couple of weeks ago,
come on the show.
We were talking a few months ago or weeks ago. We were talking about 1970s, 80s publications that used to often find in ditches. And Gareth said he had
loads in the river.
Yeah, I bet you do. And Gareth has still got a collection in his parents' loft. And when he's having marital or relationship issues, he goes around his parents and goes up in the loft. So we thought it'd be nice to have a
check the wiring, obviously.
Yeah, to check the wiring for his parents' house.
Yeah, of course. Yeah. Does that wiring go faulty quite often then, does it?
Well, yes, I think he did last week. And he's not in the chat at the moment, so he's probably up there checking it now. But it'll only take 5 minutes.
Last week, Mr. Gary Cook was in the loft. So,
yes.
Tonight's question is: who's in Gareth's parents' loft? Adrian.
How do I explain him?
Without getting beat up.
He is a Cockney. And
professional Cockney.
He likes picking locks.
He's lovely.
No, he used to.
He's lovely. He's lovely.
He used to pick locks for a living, but he doesn't anymore. He's clean now.
Someone's got it already.
Where? It's not on my screen. They've not said the full name.
Yeah, all right. They haven't said the full name.
Gareth Howard said, "Mum got a hell of a shock when she found out I wasn't very good electrician." You need to say the full name for who's in Gareth's lot.
He's lovely.
Philip Wills, you were nearly there, but you didn't say the full name. Derek Sherwin, Steve Newman. So it's between Philip Wills and Derek Sherwin. Thank you. Steve Newman's up
no
there.
Prizes, and Adrian's description was crap.
No, it wasn't.
Hey, you said the same line 14 times.
Well, I was trying to think of something politically correct. I couldn't say certain things. Yes, Thank you, Philip. He was being tactful as well. He's also head of security at the Rodney Cook Rally, or he was last year. So
he's lovely, very kind to him. And he likes having a lovely time.
Yes. Steve Newman is in Philip Wills. No, he's not in Philip Wills' loft. Well, he might be because Philip lives in London. So Philip, careful.
It's a big loft then.
Yes.
Goes a long way.
We all get an invite to the loft.
No. Oh gosh.
We were going to ask somebody else, but it might have been. He said he's got lovely. I read that incorrectly. Lovely times.
Yeah.
I read that as 2 T's in that for some reason. We have got a short filler video now, minute video that Angela and Derek Sherwin have. Derek. It is Derek. I'm right. Derek Sherwin have sent in. So this is them on a dig this week.
Well, the Sherwins are out on a midweek rally with no pursuits in Shropshire. As of up to now, we've been here a couple of hours, and as of the usual case with us, not found much. So let's just see what Derek can find in this hole. bottle cap. Yeah. Same old, same old. Oh well. Let's carry on and see if anything else pops up. I think we've just heard somebody shout hammered, so they're obviously here, but we just don't walk over them.
The reality of metal detecting.
That's nice, because that's a true video, so thank you very much.
It is, and if you want to send in a video, doesn't matter what it is, as long as it's
within reason.
Well, as long as it's not
in a loft.
It's not Gareth Howard.
No, we get plenty of those. But yeah, any video, getting ready to go detecting, sitting down, cleaning your finds, anything, just all the bits and bobs. I'm going to do some videos this weekend, Dave, when I'm at the Rodney Cook one-day event on Sunday. So I'll do some videos. There'll probably be Saturday night and really early Sunday morning, and that's it. But yeah, I'll do a couple.
So the Saturday night ones we can't play until after the watershed again, obviously.
I think Fodder's going, so yeah, probably the case. So yeah.
Right. But, well, it's 9 o'clock, so it's that time of the night. Before we come back to Steve, let's have Right, Adrian, what number do you go up to tonight?
105.
Right, so Steve, if you could choose a number between 0 and 105.
88.
88. Two fat ladies. Can't say that anymore, can we?
Pictures.
Two plump persons.
Oh, okay.
Steve Newman's got to do us a video. Nice one, Steve.
Mine's not that exciting, I don't think, but...
Oof. You're first.
I haven't gone into the reference page, have I?
No.
I'm just trying to get rid of the screen Dave sent me. Right. Marking out areas with string lines, unless on pasture, isn't essential, as the straight line footsteps do the job just as effectively and much quicker. But don't get me wrong, if you have had bad eyesight or you can't walk in a straight line, the string idea is fine. Any areas that produced well should be given a further look, and the second search pattern made at right angles to the first. Under normal circumstances, this should be enough, but it will all depend on the amount found the second time round, the size of the objects retrieved, and the amount of ferrous. And I can go on, but there's a little
wow
diagram there.
That's a nice easy one then, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. So
well, I told you you'd be going through this week. Return finds are accompanied by a certification sheet to confirm that they have been reported and not claimed, which allows the finder to then treat a find as a personal property. Finders may, in this situation, decide to keep their find or to dispose of it in a responsible fashion by exchange, sale, donation, or otherwise. It would be irresponsible casually to discard such a find. The certification sheet is important, since without it, such disposal would be illegal. No museum would be able to accept the found item as a donation without the record of reporting, nor would an auction house, including eBay, be able to offer a non-certified item for sale. So, go metal detecting and archaeology or advanced detecting.
Advanced detecting by the world famous, I'd say, Norfolk Wolf. Old book, £17.50. Green Light Publishing.
Yours a bit more, Dave. I think I'm gonna have to go with Dave's. Sorry about that, Adrian. It's just
Susie Thomas,
like,
Peter Stone. Let's have a look.
It's
close.
I'm not
Dave,
I'm not
Adrian,
responsible for refunds on Dave's.
Definitely
Adrian. Not. Dave's is photocopied and laminated cover.
546474.
Thank you.
8-4.
Thank you. I'll tell you what, I'm going to give a copy away if it wins. I shouldn't say that. That's blackmail.
8-5.
That's blackmail.
8-5. 8-5. 9-5. When we get to 10, there it is, 10. Adrian, you're through to the final. So next week's final will be Advanced Detecting versus 50 Metal Detecting Finds of Cheshire.
Oh, right. That's how it works. I got confused how it works. And whatever book wins, Dave's face, they're like, oh, God, he got confused. Whatever book wins, we'll give away to someone on the show, won't we, Dave?
Unless it's my book. Unless it's my book, because I'm crap at sending them out. But all the prizes have now been sent out from the Christmas prize tour, and everybody's received them well. I think everyone has, because the person who's been bothering us constantly on a daily basis hasn't actually communicated to say they've received it or not.
No,
but
it's
Marky found loved the Mind Lab socks. Love them.
Brilliant.
I had some as well.
Are they winter socks, Dave? Because I could do some nice winter socks.
Ah,
Adrian
no,
going out.
They're not. They're quite thin. They're quite thin.
But we onto your feet.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I'll tell you, I've got Dave. I've got a Manticore T-shirt, which is quite nice.
What?
Sorry.
Are you going to take it off and send it?
Any ladies watching who want it? Unwashed.
Man United on there, then?
No, no, definitely not.
Screen.
Yeah, but yeah, we'll give away the last book that wins. Might even do a couple of them or three, might we, Dave? We'll see how it goes.
And hopefully, as promised, we may have a small selection of prizes available for winning on the show, not in the normal means. As we promised, we would do a show giveaway in 5 weeks, Adrian, or 6 weeks? Fine, hold on.
I haven't got a clue.
6 weeks' time.
What's happening in 6 weeks' time?
It's our 150th episode.
Ah, yes, 150th.
I love it when I confuse Adrian.
Yeah, not hard. Yeah.
Let's get back to Steve.
Yes, sorry, Steve.
Steve,
want to see some pictures?
It worked.
Oh my lord!
It worked.
Look at that. Oh,
there you go. There you go. Right, that was one of the Anglo-Saxon burials at Deal. Yeah, it's probably not a lot to say about that. I don't think actually there was any finds with that one. Actually, no. So that was just right. Now this is a very, very interesting one. Yes, yeah.
And I've just spotted that the thing at the feet. There's another picture separate that I've put at the end. Yeah,
that's right. Yeah, this was a high status warrior. This would have been. This chap had a shield actually placed on his skull. So just
can't see it. Yeah.
So yeah. He had a big long sword, spear, and down by his feet was a basket for his horse. So that was very high status then. That would have been only for the elite to have something like that, because his horse was buried next to him, and there was also a dog burial in with that horse. So he would have been very, very powerful, that guy there.
And this thing is...
Sorry.
You first, Adrian.
Sorry, it's not very deep. Is there a surface layer been taken off there?
Yeah. It's quite strange. Some of them were quite deep, actually. Some of them actually went down about 1.1 to 1.2 meters.
Wow.
And some were a lot shallower. So yeah, some of them you could be a lot less in depth. Yeah, definitely. But this one here was, he was certainly someone with power. Very high respected in the community, the society. Then, yeah, definitely. Yeah,
and digging for Britain. This was on episode.
It's series 9, episode 1.
So anybody can go back and find that on on the BBC iPlayer, is it?
So BBC iPlayer,
Yeah.
yes, it was on there. Yes, yeah.
So you'll be able to look at that.
Yeah. Oh yes, this is the one I did. Yes. Oh, this was this was nice. Right, this was a very high status. We think woman. It was a bit difficult to tell. I mean, most of the time you can, obviously due to the bits in the middle, how wide they are. But we're pretty sure this is a woman. Very high status, purely because of the finds she had with her. Lot of finds. She had a lot of beads going on here. This is the one that had the gold as well. So she had gold pendants around her neck. She had a lot of beads which were very high quality. Some of it was amethyst, which would have been abroad, probably in India or Egypt. It would have come from. So this stuff was getting across from other countries for people like her. So she was a very, very, very powerful woman. I say woman, but like to be woman in society, probably having dinner with the elite of the day, the king. You know, she was really, really powerful. You could just see a blue vessel down by her feet. You've got to have a lot of money to.
I'm laughing. Gareth Howard's just put one of in. What did the dog bury? Because mine keeps raking up the garden and eating cat poo.
Well, I could tell you a funny story about the dog because actually, the dog's Willie was with it. the bone, the actual the bone remains. So there we are. There you go. An Anglo-Saxon Willie bone came out of that one.
Marvelous.
So yeah.
Oh,
This was this would have been another one. This one's got a lovely sword.
We've got another picture of that, haven't we, coming up?
Yeah, you have. Yeah. Another powerful warrior. And in here, let me just see that or not. It's what they call a shield boss. So that would have been the bit that would have sort of basically protected.
Gareth said the technical term for the dog's bone is a lipstick.
It's strange where some people put their mouth in it, but there you go.
oh dear.
But,
wow.
Yeah. So it's just a shame that it was a bit missing there. But this would have been locally produced, probably in Faversham, somewhere in Kent. But absolutely stunning, absolutely beautiful. Yeah, it's the same a little bit was off the top, but even so, most of it remains after 1,500 years later of being buried there. So, and you think the weight of that soil as well was absolutely,
What is the soil content?
Very clayey looking.
Yeah, very. I mean, we was lucky really that it was chalk, because chalk's great. You've got burials in chalk. I mean, it's fantastic. It's it's probably one of the best, to be honest. Yeah, and very crumbly type of chalk. The soil was very crumbly as well. It was really great to work with, when you do skeletons. It's rather than sticky, horrible, gooey mud you sometimes get. This is fantastic. Yeah, and a lot easier. Yeah, that's a shield boss. So these
just
things
call me
around
Adrian. Sorry,
that's all right. Yeah, they would have been stuck on the outside. These chaps, these little discs would have been there. So it doesn't really look much, does it, to look at? But yeah, it's.
Oh,
right, yeah, wow. That was that lovely gold pendant, which was around that high status woman's. Well, we'll say woman because it's more likely a woman. Grave, that one. So that was one of the items.
It could have been an Anglo-Saxon them.
It could have. Well, yeah. Well, it could have been. Yeah.
No, doubt it.
Yeah.
That's beautiful. That
stunning, isn't it? absolutely stunning. Yeah.
It's an Anglo-Saxon design as well.
It is. It is indeed. Yeah. Yeah. True, lovely gold. Yeah, absolutely beautiful. We don't know how they've done some of this. I mean, it's even better than today's market, isn't it? You know?
And how would it take it been on, I don't know, a leather strap or something?
Yeah, so that would have been on a quality strap, obviously going through the top bit there. But the Anglo-Saxon gold is just incredible. I mean, you look at Sutton Hoo, what they produced, what they found there, you know, it's absolutely amazing. We wouldn't be able to do that today, I don't think, with that quality.
Not quality of gold, no.
No. Right, okay, that was an interesting one. That was a corded Bronze Age beaker burial. So when the beaker people came in, the early Bronze Age, that was one of the pots they had. That was actually a child's burial. And it was nearly complete. Unfortunately, a little lateral tree root had gone through here, which literally just took that bit off. But the rest of it was absolutely...
We can't see where you're pointing, Steve.
Oh, sorry. Yeah.
When you say corded, do you mean that the decoration would have been done by a cord?
Yeah, so it's literally they would have gone round it. Yeah, made that pattern.
Look at that.
Yeah, well, that's an interesting one because that was actually found with a set of weighing scales, which are rare, actually very rare, actually. Normally found, if they are found within burial sites. We actually think this was made in Indonesia.
Wow.
And we're pretty sure that although it is with scales, we're quite certain this actually could have been designed for the brooches, which is, quite incredible, really. Yeah, it's a lovely find. Really nice. Yeah, that was that was a garnet, not Alf, unfortunately, but yeah, that was a garnet.
He was politically correct too, was Alf.
Definitely, yeah.
Look how clear that is. That's lovely. Yeah, that is. Look, you can see through it.
That was
like it's got shreddies in it.
Yeah, I know. It's stunning. This was found on the sword with the guy with the horse and dog buried next to him. Yeah, that came off that. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, that was my find. My little that was absolutely stunning.
You don't really find anything good though, do you, Steve? Let's be honest.
No, not normally, mate. No, pretty rubbish, really. No. Yeah, that was a stunning disc brooch, which came off that lady with the blue vessel. That was one of hers. Yeah. Oh, that was nice. That was found by a friend of mine. That was a glass vessel. Absolutely.
Wow.
Yeah. I mean, the glass vessels alone, they're rare. They are rare to find. And this was got a crack in it, but yeah, that was near enough complete, that one. Yeah, another gold pendant. Yeah. Another grave. So, you know, this was high status, this burial ground, absolutely phenomenal. Yeah, and that's at we'll say feeding basket for the horse. It's what it was, but it was actually decorated. Actually, although you can't really see it on there, they had decoration of the horse on it as well. But this again, it's they're rare, and we would have had to have a lot of wealth to have one of those. Even if it wasn't your, even if it's for the horse. Oh, I don't recognise him. I don't recognise that character. But that was the Bronze Age burial, little child's burial with that beaker that we saw. So that's about 4,000 years old. That one.
That's a sword.
Yeah, that was a sword.
Imagine finding that.
Yeah, that was decorated. A lot of these were decorated, so it was they weren't plain. They had little things on them. Some of them are different to each other as well. But a lot of them are buried with those. Yeah.
Is that a coin? Is that for size? Sorry.
That I don't know what that is actually. Is that a coin? I don't know what that is actually. It might be part of my dinner money that's dropped out of my pocket while I've been uncovering.
Right.
No, it's not a lot of 5p. You couldn't get a lot for 5p these days, could you? But yeah, it might be a coin. Yeah,
just for size.
Just bear with me. I'm going to zoom in on the original.
Yeah.
Where's the original?
It looks like someone's put it there for scale because there's nothing.
Yeah.
Although 10p. Yeah, 10p.
Yeah, I don't know what it is actually. That one.
Maybe that's what the photo's meant to be, and that's just an old gas pipe.
No, it's not. It's not a coin. Well, if it is a coin, it's not modern. It's a metallic circular object.
Yeah, I don't know what that was in there for. Yeah, I'm sure. Yeah, that was part of the scales, like the weighing scales. Again, you got like two decorated pieces. You'd always, a lot of the time, you would always find Roman coins with things like this because they used to use those a lot. The Roman coins, you used to find them. They would sometimes drill holes in them, but they used to use them for decorative purposes or even things like this. But the smaller ones are leaded scale weights, so this would have been used for measuring gold and things like that.
Wow.
Just a posy shot. Yeah, pose shot just with a complete shield boss that just come up. So that was nice.
It's very close to houses.
Yes, yeah, actually, yeah. Strangely enough, some of the burials go underneath their houses.
Yeah,
really?
Yeah. The lady. Yeah. Sorry, Adrian.
Sorry, go on. Sorry.
Yeah, no, the lady who owned that house on the corner, she was absolutely, she was lovely. She was so excited by it as well. Yeah, absolutely brilliant. Because when that site first started, there was one house in there with a massive garden, and the funny story is she didn't know anything what was underneath her feet, and where the warrior was with the basket was right under her toilet in her house.
Poor bloke.
Yeah,
that's the sort of what. Oh,
that's the sort of ending I'll end up with.
Going from up there to down there.
So if he wasn't alive, I'm sure that would have probably killed him off completely anyway.
Yeah,
with that,
Just quickly going back to Dave. How was it discovered? Because it is very close to houses. How was the initial site?
The initial site was a builder would apply for building application. Archaeological sites are only done if it falls within an archaeological area. This one did. So by law, it has to be checked out for any archaeological evidence. So you put valuation trenches in. And then it basically started to uncover 2 or 3 skeletons. So we knew something was going. The history of the area. It's very close to Anglo-Saxons. And, you get to find that out what's actually around that sort of area itself. And then we sort of came in. 3 turned into 10, 20, 30, 40, 50. And it just went on from that. So we had about 95 in the end.
Wow.
Burials.
So how long did the archaeologist actually have the site for, from start of process to handing it back to the builders?
Handing it back was about 10 months, I think, overall. So we would have had to have finished everything before they could get it back. But what we do it in stages. So we do one area, and then that will get signed off by the county archaeologist. And then they would do what they do. So we move to another area, do exactly the same, and then that'll be signed off, and then they can have that bit. So we had a really good relationship with that builder. He was really, really keen as well, although it does cost them money in the long run. He was really, really excited about what was being found. Really good, really nice bloke he was. And
I bet he changed the name of his roads from what he had originally to
Yeah.
Oh, no. I don't think he expect. Well, we didn't expect 95, let alone him. But
95 Anglo-Saxon grade.
yeah, yeah, he's quite.
There's someone watching the show tonight going, hang on, isn't that Mary who lives next door's house?
Yeah.
Living in their new build on a grave. Well, it's not a grave anymore.
Shouting upstairs, Gareth!
Yeah, come down. This show's quite good. Yeah, with there's 3 other people watching. Yeah, so that looks really nice.
Right, all these here came off the high status woman burial.
Yeah.
So you had the disc brooch, you had the amethyst beads as well going on there. You had the gold pendants. These weren't gold, but there are various pendants there as well. Lots of beads. I mean, some of these beads were absolutely ridiculously small. I mean, we're talking a couple of millimeters, some of them. But the holes they put in the middle were absolutely precise. They were absolutely dead center. You could not do it any better. And it absolutely amazing. They made different styles of the beads as well. They were absolutely perfect. You know, well, we don't know today how they did it. We still don't know. Yeah, we still don't know. Yeah.
What's the yellow?
The yellow sort of like beads. She had 2 necklaces, this lady. One necklace was all yellow beads, and the top one around her neck was a variation of beads. He had like a watermelon type bead, which is the one under the brooch there.
I thought the yellow ones were Lego Man had.
Yeah,
Sweet
Minecraft. Oh yeah, that was another spear that we had out as well. Yeah, that was quite weird. That was quite out of context. That was, so there was nothing really else in there. So that was a bit of a, may have been kind of like dropped or just put down somewhere. It didn't really have a, wasn't although significant. That was part of the scales. So you had the string that would have come off the top of the loop there, coming down, and holding the weights. Yeah. That's that. Going back to that high status lady, it was quite weird actually, because the skull was facing the other way, the head of the skull. Bit weird, but it does happen because animals can get in there and they can move things around. They're a bit of a pain actually, like mice and things like that. So
where the beads and such like are at the bottom of the screen, are they in situ how it was found, where they would have been on the torso?
They had been moved. Yeah, they've been photographed. So we have to photograph everything in situ as we find it. Once it's photographed, it's fine. You can move them away. It's not a problem. Fine, it's all recorded.
Absolutely fascinating.
Yeah, that was amazing. Thanks for that, Steve. We've got a question from Gareth Howard. I think we all know the answer to this one. Are there many stories of building developers unearthing sites of archaeological interest and then just carrying on with developments due to money and time restraints?
No. Well, probably a few years ago you might be able to get away with it, but I think today, with any building proposal, you would have to, in an archaeological area, get an archaeologist in to check it over first. If they did it behind the back, well, they wouldn't be allowed to. They'd be in serious trouble. Because remember that county KCCs and local councils can stop a development at any time. Doesn't matter if they've just started, they're halfway in. If they break the rules on an archaeological site, they can put them off.
It's funny.
Put them off.
It's funny because where I live, Chelmsford in Essex, which you obviously know, it's not far from Colchester.
Yes.
And I remember in the 80s they unearthed in the centre of Chelmsford town centre, they unearthed a Roman baths. And I remember as a kid, like 8 or 9, going there with my dad, watching it all fenced off. And it was pre-health and safety, so you could sort of go right up to the edge and look in and that. And there was just mosaic tiles everywhere, and it was all laid out. And now there's an electrical shop put on top of it. And we've also got a new development that happened here in the last few years, where Henry VIII's one of his houses he built for one of his wives. I can't remember which one, and it was the whole house was completely covered in gold leaf, and it's not properly documented where the exact location was, but it was give or take a quarter of a mile. But the whole area now has been built on. It's there's so much stuff, and I just saw in that photo that house right next door, which looked like it was probably built in the 50s, 60s, or maybe later.
Yeah,
these rules, it's got a lot stricter now.
It has definitely.
And there's so much more stuff we're going to discover now. Let's just hope that the archaeologists and all the portable antiquities scheme and everything get the funding to continue doing this, because otherwise it's just it's going to create a backlog, and people don't like backlogs, do they?
I mean, the difficult side with going back probably to cemeteries again is the fact that you do get a common question: why can't you just leave them where they are? The difficulty is when a building contractor has got permission to build houses there, their levels will smash through those skeletons anyway. Yeah, they go a lot lower than what those skeletons do. So there's either two choices: you record them. I mean, the skeletons get reburied anyway. They're not kept. They get 2 or 3 may get assessed, but they're always put in a private location and reburied. Where otherwise the building contractor will smash through the whole lot, because their levels are majority of the time a lot lower than where those skeletons would be, so they would just disappear.
We've all seen the film Poltergeist,
and we've all seen the film. Absolutely, yep, indeed, yep.
True story. 100%.
Damn them Indians.
Yeah.
Well, listen, Steve, it's been absolutely phenomenal having you on tonight. We've learned loads, haven't we, Adrian?
Yeah, it's been really nice.
Thank you very much, Dave.
We've even learned from Buckwells again. You've told me something, and I've probably taught you something. So
no, it's been brilliant all round. Thank you very much. Absolutely,
it's a good pleasure to have you, mate. And obviously, keep me abreast of any and the outcomes and any future finds, because you're more than welcome to come on at any time in the future. Bring your friends.
Yeah, indeed, mate. Yep, indeed. What we'll do once I've got an update a bit further down the line with this shoe as well, we'll come back on and we'll get the carbon dating sorted out, explained, and everything a bit further down the line. And
you can even ask Dana to come on. Dana.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, definitely. Dana. Yeah, definitely.
And Emily. Can't forget Emily.
Yeah, indeed. No, she'll come on. Yeah, we'll come on next time and we'll do it. We'll do one.
Brilliant.
Nice to meet you, Adrian. Lovely. Thank you very much.
Yeah,
cheers, Dave.
Thanks,
Thank you. Take care.
Yeah, take care, Steve. It's been brilliant. We'll be back same time, same place next week with Adrian.
And you?
No, with the guest.
Oh, we've got next week Fraser Bailey. Sorry. Who's a detectorist, and he's unearthed, I think, over 100 hammered coins last year, and he also found a very nice, what did he find? Medieval Celtic gold pyramid thing. He's had some fantastic finds. So Fraser will be on next week's show, and he's a very good guy, and I went detecting with him a few months ago, and we had a great day. So he's on next week, Fraser Bailey, detectorist. So tune in, watch.
Yeah, I love your shows. Watch them, and brilliant.
Thanks, Steve.
Keep going.
Steve.
Fantastic, lovely, brilliant.
Well done, Dave.
Lovely, fantastic.
Right, everybody, take care, and we will see you all the same time, same place next week. Good night.
Bye.